Hello and welcome back. Woman, step into your power once again. Allow the divine feminine in you to rise and you bloom and shine so beautifully like you once did years and years ago. I chose to talk about this topic today because in today's world, we are seeing so much of chaos and cruelty and violence and disturbance happening all over. That's because of the imbalance that has happened, because the masculine energy has been appreciated and applauded, and at the expense of the divine feminine energy that has been suppressed and oppressed totally. So it's so much the need of the hour to pay attention to this and allow the divine feminine to rise once again, to allow the feminine energy to bloom and to blossom like it once did at one point of time. Hi, I'm Kavita Manivanan, a life transformation expert and a confidence coach, having worked with thousands of people globally. Today, I want to actually go back a little bit into history to give you an idea about why what is happening right now, is actually happening. Years back, like, when cavemen existed, we started off life as hunters and gatherers, where the men used to go out and hunt and provide food for the family, whereas the women used to stay back at home and they used to wait for the hunt to come back home and to prepare food and to nurture and nourish the people at home. And they were nomads basically, and later on they moved on to become settlers, where the man, as he started evolving and becoming more intelligent, he chose to settle down in places where used to grow crops, and agriculture came into existence. And that's when he decided that he wanted to take ownership of a woman, so that he knew who his children were. They were a family, and they started living together as what started off as actually a beautiful barter system, where he used to be the one who used to provide and protect, and she used to be the one who used to nurture and nourish the family and the children. And that's how they existed very well. She used to be so happy and content staying at home and taking care of his children and their family together. There came a time in patriarchy when we women we became so strong in the world. What can be more beautiful and amazing than the ability to create life? And we women were able to do that. And whenever the opposite can't do what we are doing, either they put us on a pedestal and elevate us, or they are in fear of us and start becoming insecure. So that's when they start shaming us. And that's exactly what they did. The woman who was able to produce and create life, she was being put down because the patriarchy started getting insecure because of her capabilities and her abilities to create life, for one. And secondly, when the entire world was struggling with diseases like the plague, this woman, with her wisdom, was able to prepare potions. And because she had such good knowledge about herbology, using herbs as medicines, using food as medicine, she was able to take care and protect her home and her children, and all these things. And also her as being a woman itself, she had this natural gut and intuition as a part of her personality, that is a part of being a woman itself. And all these things started making the man insecure. And that's when, if they could, that's when actually what they started doing was started shaming her. There was a time, even during the 16th century, they started putting down women and naming them as witches, because the word witches itself comes from the word wisdom. They started, those women who had all these cauldrons to prepare medicines, and they had the broom, because a woman is supposed to maintain the home clean, keep the home clean. All this helped her to actually ward off diseases. All these things, whenever a woman had a cauldron and a broom and things like that, they started branding her as a witch and hunting her down. There was a time where even they burnt 400 witches in Salem, and they used to tie rocks onto the witches and throw them into the sea and say, okay, if she's a witch, if she's not a witch, then she will survive. So these are the kind of things that happen. And actually, gradually, what happened was this started getting embedded into the woman's mind. Now, what happens? Like, there is this theory, right? When they say there is an experiment where you start putting fleas into a jar and then close the jar, and these fleas keep hitting against the lid of the jar again and again and again. And after some time, when you even open the lid, the fleas they just go down and stay there because they don't think they can come out of the jar anymore. That's the kind of oppression that happened with the woman as well. She became suppressed and oppressed, and didn't believe that she could bloom with her feminine energy anymore. But that's not how we were created. We were created to complement each other, to coexist together, beautifully together, to recognize the woman was supposed to recognize the masculine energy, and the man was supposed to recognize the feminine energy, and we were both supposed to bring together and live in harmony and not put down one to kind of put ourselves up. So that's exactly what happened. So the woman was suppressed, and in turn, what happened, there was a time when she started becoming more educated, and that's when she started becoming more alpha. She's suppressed, because whatever I'm talking about is not masculine and feminine gender, but it's about the masculine and feminine energy. Both the masculine have a feminine quality in them, and the women also have a masculine quality in them. When a man is able to have his strength and power and also be loving, then his divine masculine comes to the surface. And when a woman is able to be loving and nurturing and also be able to execute and achieve, then she becomes her divine feminine comes to the surface. So when they are able to find this beautiful balance, then there is harmony and peace. Now, if you see, even in the world today, there is so much of violence and war and all this happening because the masculine energy is right at the top and the feminine energy has been suppressed. Now, whenever you see a woman in power, then you will see the existence of, she will be promoting educational institutions, animal welfare centers, orphanages, senior citizen homes, and shelters, and there's a lot of things that where she will show how she can nourish and nurture people, world, the animals, everything, and bring peace and harmony in the world. But when there is a rise of masculine energy, you can see war and chaos and violence and all of that being more prevalent, which is what is happening. So it is really critical to bring back this beautiful balance between the man and the woman, meaning the masculine energy and the feminine energy. Can you believe this? Today, women come and tell me, young mothers of small children, they come and say that they are feeling guilty. I'm not a working mother, they say. The same mother who was once worshipped for her qualities today is feeling ashamed. The same mother who has given up her identity, her eating, her drinking, her body, her figure, her dreams, her desires, and everything to be a mother, she's feeling guilty because she can't work. If she works, that should be out of her own choice. She should not be in this rat race, trying to fit into some kind of a mold. That is what is exactly happening. Because if the man had continued to be the provider and the protector, she would have very nicely been the mother and, flourishing in her own feminine energy, taking care of her kids and her family. Today, the mother is not able to be there for her own children. That's why the kids are becoming more depressed. The kids are not having their mother to nurture and nourish them anymore, because she has gotten into this rat race to fit into a mold and to survive. Why is it that we are seeing so many alpha women today? They are saying, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have children, I want to be a career woman, I want to do this and achieve that. And they've switched on to that mode, because if you go back and see the story of this alpha woman, at some time she would have been let down, and she says, I don't need the man to protect and provide for me anymore. What he can do, I can very well do for myself. I will still have my freedom and independence and go about doing my thing. And if need be, I can even provide for him as well. She switched to that mode because her masculine, she's allowed the masculine energy in her to surface. And if there is no feminine energy, then what is going to happen to the world, right? So that's why it's really important to bring back the feminine energy. And let me just give you a few steps on how we can actually help our to rekindle the feminine energy in us and allow it to resurface once again. Firstly, stop being a slave to your emotions. Instead, become a master of your emotions. Don't allow your emotions to rule how you conduct yourself in situations. Secondly, stay in your power. Don't let the world decide your moods and energies. Don't let your experiences decide your moods and energies. Do not give the remote control of your life to the things that are happening around you or to the situations that are happening around you. Michelle Obama very beautifully says, when they go low, we go high. That's how we should be conducting ourselves. Stay in our power. And the third one is prioritize versus procrastinate. Now, be that woman who is able to know and recognize that what is really important gets done. She knows that what all she did today was important, and what was left will be done tomorrow. She's not the woman who leave everything to the last minute and then goes hamper scamper trying to struggle and finish everything in the last minute. If there is an important event, she will plan well ahead so that things function seamlessly on that day, rather than keep things till the last minute and then struggle. That's what a woman who stays in her power does. The fourth one is, this woman chooses progress over procrastination. She knows that she'll do a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit the day after, and then over a period of time, the task will be done. It's okay even if she goes 5 steps forward and 4 steps backward, 5 steps forward and 4 steps backward, and even then it is progress. So she's comfortable with that. She's not hung up on being the perfectionist, not getting everything absolutely right. She's good with the way she's progressing. The woman who is staying in her divine feminine energy is the one who is no longer insecure. She is the one who believes that peace, love, and forgiveness are qualities of strength, not qualities of weakness. Because it takes a woman of immense strength to forgive somebody even. This is the woman who knows that very well and executes that as well. So I chose to do this video today simply because I'm seeing that there is so much need for the rise of the divine feminine once again, for there to be peace and love and harmony once again back in the world. And this is the most apt time to talk about this topic. So I hope you enjoyed this and you found something of value. And I would love for you to hit on the subscribe button and the like button if you found something of value. And if there is something that you might choose to share, then kindly comment in the comment box and I would love to hear back from you. Till I see you next, loads of love, take care and stay in your power. Bye-bye.